In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I've fallen in love with photographing what some might perceive as boring or underwhelming things. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. With the rise of photography on social media, Instagram specifically, let's be honest, the subjects and stuff people are photographing and posting every day of the week have hit an all-time high on the craziness level. So much so that I find I can be scrolling on Instagram, see insane location after insane location, and not really even bat an eyelid to what it is that I'm actually looking at. These type of locations and these types of shots, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Epic snowy mountains with a frozen lake and somebody stood on a boulder in the lake, a boat going past, something like that, have become shoved in our faces so much that they're almost not really that surprising or inspiring anymore. Some will still find them inspiring, of course, but myself and I'm sure a hell of a lot of other people have kind of got to the point where they feel like they're seeing the same waterfall from Iceland to the same cityscape shot from a helicopter over and over again. Whew, I'm so unfit. It is a bit of a shame that these sort of photographs are no longer surprising or particularly inspiring, but I do think in turn that then opens the door for some more, let's call it less epic photography, to do some actual talking again. I went through a stage for a few years, pre-lockdowns and all that business that happened that we won't talk about. I went through a stage where I felt like I had to be constantly photographing better locations, constantly booking the next epic photography trip that was a level up from the one that I'd last been on, to keep up with this epic photographer explorer mindset of social media. After all, we all know this is the type of imagery that does well on social media. My analogy is that these type of photographs are the blockbuster movie that you see in the cinemas all over and everyone's paying to go and see it, apart from we're not paying it because Instagram's free, but you get what I'm saying. But what I learned from those couple of years that I was in that stage was that the crazier the locations I visited, the more epic photographs that I took, the less and less connected to my images I became. I was trying to keep up with this explorer, epic adventurer mindset persona. The images that were taken were massively dictated based on whether it was going to be good enough or powerful enough or moody enough for Instagram. All right, now this is absolutely peak Northumberland. Rolling hills in the background, beautiful sky, rock on the edge of the hill there, some sort of yellowy, leafy foliage in the front there. Stunning. Probably going to get eaten by a snake, but this is the life, isn't it? So I'm thinking of taking a shot here, obviously with the rock being the main subject. Try and get some of this yellow foliage complementing the shot as well. Not sure if I've got the right lens on right now, but let's have a little play with the framing. Does anybody else that wears glasses when they're photographing? Your glasses steam up. And then you can't really take the photo, can you? And then you take your glasses off and you can't really see. I reckon they should make a camera with glasses inside the lens. Not sure how that would work. I can actually see, I'm not that blind. Gorgeous. Now, I don't know if it was by chance or because I subconsciously started blocking out that type of epic over-the-top content, but the photography and the content on YouTube and the media and stuff like that I started consuming shifted way more towards the simple stuff, photos from charming little towns, authentic real moments, everyday things made beautiful. Now, I didn't really notice it myself, but I had a realization after doing it for a while that I'd go out on a walk and I'd find myself photographing like an old garage or a bus stop or a road sign or something along those lines that's pretty normal, pretty everyday and pretty boring, but I was working to put my own beautiful, unique spin on something that was so normal. Now you might be thinking, well, you're not exactly at a boring or mundane location right now, are you? No, I'm definitely not. But for me, this type of location is more of a filming location, somewhere beautiful I can come to make my videos. Having said that, I am going to photograph somewhere that you'd probably class as very boring later on in this video, so make sure you stick around for that. Here's the question though, are those places actually boring and underwhelming, or have they been made to feel that way because of social media and the constant pressure to be always up in your photographs and posting the most crazy locations possible? Definitely the latter. I also noticed a lot of the photographs that I was taking and a lot of the places I was excited to head to were sort of undocumented places. Places people probably would avoid because they do see them as mundane, but in turn, that was making me excited because I was going to photograph a place that if I were to share it online or on my portfolio or get a print done of it, it's not a place that you can just be like, oh yeah, that's there, so-and-so shot it, so-and-so shot it. They were very much places that if you searched it up on Google, there weren't very many results. And if they were, they weren't necessarily from photographers. They're people that have gone for a nice walk and found it and took a quick iPhone snap or something like that. And to me, heading to a place like that is really exciting, and it can just spark the fire inside of you need to go off and shoot these places. Now that's not to say I won't be taking photos of someone stood on a cliff edge ever again or going to any tourist hotspots. Of course I will. That's part of photography, and these places are still inviting to go and photograph. And of course, if you go on an incredible trip to say Iceland or the Faroe Islands, of course you want to photograph those places. But in conclusion for this video, the work that I'm producing right now, the work that I feel connected to and I'm happy about shooting the most, does tend to be more boring, mundane, everyday places. And I find it a real challenge, a real sense of achievement when I go to a place like that, I photograph it and I somehow make it interesting. So having that mindset and going on the pursuit of making everyday normal things seem really interesting is definitely what's allowed me to break free from the pressure and the mindset that I needed to always be leveling up my locations and booking and looking for that next epic photography trip. And as I said previously in the video, that's not to say I won't be doing that again in the future or anytime soon. I'm definitely still going to be going to touristy hotspots and ticking off those bucket list shots, but it has allowed me to feel okay within that downtime. I can roam around the local area, the local city, take photos of garages and shop fronts and still be happy with those images, and it's why I've grown to love photographing boring things. Hopefully this ramble, this story, if you're feeling a little bit disconnected to your work, has been of value for you today. That's it from me, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.